So we are talking about callback. Okay, we are done with callback, right? Callback in async code. So there's two pattern. One is in synchronous. I think this one is the synchronous one. This is the synchronous pattern, while the other one is async pattern.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's say now you want to set timeout, right? Consider log done waiting 200 seconds. The function inside set timeout is a call back. So this function now, are you seeing it? Remember when we are talking about function, when we are talking about, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, you know that when we are talking about function, right? This is a function. The function must have this sign here. Even when you want to call the function self, let's say you want to call greet now, greet, you have to put this sign. Do you understand? So whenever you see, so that's why they are telling us that this two brackets here is a callback function. It's a callback function inside another function called,
Okay.
yeah, inside another function called set timeout. Do you understand? And this stuff now basically represent arrow function. So like we'll see look at arrow function after this particular file. There's one other file we'll look at before we start our other project. That one talks about arrow function.
Mm.
So whenever you see something like this, whenever you see something like this, whenever you see something like this inside a function or something, just know that this is arrow. It is a function.
Alpha.
It is a function, but it is called arrow function. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. So now this is a function inside another function called set timeout. Are you getting it? Set timeout. So when you see this one now, like the way they write this one is very long now, right? But the way they write this other
Mm.
one is very short. Do you understand? So this is async function, um async type of callback, while this one is synchronous type of callback. So this one have to run first. This one have to run first, then this one will now follows it, which is what we get here. Hi Alice, goodbye.
Yeah.
Mhm. So let's move forward. I seen it. It delayed for a while. It delayed for a while for coming.
Yeah.
So that's callback. That's callback in asynchronous JavaScript. So we have this is another pattern sha, but let me just talk about it. Let me talk about it so that you understand more. So it's just a very hard. It's just a very hard this thing programming language. This something is not defined. I know that this code will not run. I just leave it. Peace. It's just a very programming language.
We never can tell now. We've not started applying
Okay,
it in projects.
okay, that's true. So we have what we call promises. Promise is just the name of person, or maybe someone is promising you something, or maybe your guy promises something, maybe your girlfriend promises something. Promises. A promise is an object that represents a value that will exist in the future. Do you get that? A promise is an object that represents a value that will exist in the future. It has three states. One, pending, which is still working. Fulfill, success, it has been done. Rejected, that means there's an error. Do you understand? A promise is an object that represents a value that will exist in the future. Three stage, still working, which is pending. Fulfill, which represents success. And rejected, which represents error. So you might be writing some code and you encounter error. Know that it has been rejected. Or fulfill, maybe you have success. It means that program have already fulfilled its purpose. Then pending, in the process, still working. So creating a promise. This is an example of creating a promise. So let my promise call to new. This thing represents you are creating a new method. Yeah. Let my promise. This is a variable, remember, and this is a variable what? Hello.
A variable name.
This is a variable name. This is a variable name. Then this is a variable what? Do you even have a note for this course? Hello. Are you there?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I said, do you have a note for this course? Do you have a note for this course?
I have notes. I have notes.
You have notes. So what is this let? What's let represent here? What does it represent?
Let is actually the variable, and the the my promise is the variable name.
Let is variable declaration, not the variable.
Yeah, declaration. Yeah.
Anyway, no problem. So we have let my promise go to.
Let var and const variable declaration.
So we have let my promise equal to new promise, then resolved. Then we have now it now takes this promise now takes two parameters. One of them is resolve, then the other one is reject. Are you there? So you're not saying if
Yeah.
now you're not saying let success equal to true. Say if success is equal to true now, that is if it is a true, if the code actually runs well. Then you now say if success now you are saying success equal to what? Equal to true. And you're now saying if success then resolved, which is call this function, call this first parameter, resolve, then you now say it worked. Then if it is the opposite, that means you are calling this other one reject. You now say something went wrong. You understand?
Sorry, come again. I didn't get that.
Let my promise go to new. Say let my promise go to new. Your promise. This new promise now takes two parameters. One of them is resolved, the other one is reject. Now you're not saying let success. This another word, this another variable. Another variable declaration of variable in a station. Let success equal to true, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
you are not doing a check. You are doing a check. You are using if else statement to do a check. I say
Okay.
if success now, which is the condition, which is this condition, if success now, then do this. And what are you doing? You are saying resolved, it works. When you say resolved, it means that you are calling this first this first parameter, then you now say it works. That is all your code now. This one now, this one just like a boilerplate. Not you, sometimes you not just write let's also equal to this. So you write a lot of code, a lot of code, a lot of code. You now say okay, if all this code now, you now say if all this code wey I don write now actually works, then you now say resolve. When you say resolve, then you now output it worked. But if there is error in that code that you have written in this session like this now, eh, this session like this now, come down before this if else statement now. If there's error, you now say else reject. You are now calling the second parameter. You now say something went wrong. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that for that. Then there's another way of using dot then and dot cache. Dot then and dot cache. My promise dot then result, console.log result. Then if there's any error, you now cache the error. So the first thing is that when this place now, all this place happen my console now, you will be writing all your code, all your programs. That's where you write it. Then you now come down, you now say result equal to something something something. You now say dot then results. When you call this result, that means that all the code that you have written, they are all working. You now say console.log the result. Console.log the result. Let me show you. Let me show you one code base from uh, that Rafael project. But that one is not okay. I think I have JavaScript. This is JavaScript. This is JavaScript. See, this is a function. This is a variable declaration. Passing it or variable initiation. You are initializing the variable.
Feels like
These
my
are
video is lagging. Okay.
your video is lagging.
Yeah.
I not see. Can you see it now?
Okay. I can see it.
Eh,
Yes, but it's lagging.
okay, sorry. So these are variable declaration and variable initiation. These are to get this document.query selector all. You are getting all the class name that have items. Get element by ID. You are getting the element by the ID. Are you seeing it? Then this is a function to update the cart. Then this is for each. So that particular that this other place now that I was telling you about dot then result console.log result. So it means that maybe now this one is to do subtraction. You get, so maybe you have done all your subtraction now, you have done everything. You now say if the result is correct, if the result is correct, eh, then the result output the result. But if there's an error, catch the error, then output the error. Are you getting it? Do you understand?
I don't understand though.
You don't understand. But okay, I'm coming. Mm. register. Let me go back to that. So this place now we have this. Mm.
Okay.
Then inside this space now is all the code that you'll be writing. Maybe the code to log someone in into their account. Maybe you are a bank software developer now. Mm. Then in this space now you are now writing a code to check if the person username is started with the person's the username that the person is putting is started with the username that is coming from database. So you do all your check in this place, do everything here, do everything here, do everything here, do everything here, do everything here. Like Unity Bank now, there's what Unity Bank used to do now. Whenever you want to make a transfer from their mobile app, they will send you they will first send you an OTP inside. No, they will ask you to put your transfer password. Then after that, then they will now send you an OTP to your message, your text message or your email. Then they will now tell you that you put the OTP inside that OTP feed. So by that you put the wrong OTP now. When you put the wrong OTP, just assume that this place now, that's what will now fire. This place will now say console.log error. That means maybe you misplace one OTP, or maybe instead of 5 you put 6. That tells you that
Yeah.
what you are putting is not tally with what the code generated at the back end.
Mm.
So it will now throw an error. This error now will now cache, this place now will now cache the error. You now console.log the error. It will now show to the user that you have input the wrong OTP. Then you now wait for like 5 minutes to generate another OTP again. You understand?
Yeah.
Mhm. So that's it. So this place now is where you write all your code to check, to do all the checking, do everything. If everything, if the OTP that the user puts now is correct, right? This place this what will now call. Now say dot then result console.log result. In this place now you can now say log in the user. So this one is
Yeah.
just, yeah. So this all these things, they are just like doing a check, doing a check, doing a check, doing a check. Even NYC portal sef. You know that NYC login page now, there's a place you generate some alphabet, you get. So if that alphabet that you generated is not tally with the one that you are putting inside that place,
Mm.
if the alphabet that you are putting inside that place is not correct, is not tally, right? It will not tell you that you have to generate another alphabet or another this thing. So these are the way they do it. These are the way they do it. There's not something new. The way, like that period I do register for my NYC, right? When I was
Yeah.
putting when I was putting some of my details from my school portal always have already appeared, because what happened was that NYC have already put my name, like yes, have already submitted my name to NYC. They have already put my name, my details in their portal. So there's no need for me to now write my names again or some of my details again. Do you understand? So that's how it is. And this
Yeah.
is how they do it. This is how they actually do it. Program is sweet actually, but it's what it is. So let's continue. So that's promises using dot ten and dot cash. You can also try this one out in your own spare time.
Hi.
Yeah. So teaching point. Pending means that waiting for a delivery. Fulfill means that package already arrived. Delivery. If rejected, maybe for example now, maybe you order for something now, and what they give to you is, maybe you order iPhone from Temu now, and what they give to you is local touch. You will reject it now.
Mm.
That means the delivery
Yes, of
really
course.
fail. Yes, then we now have, after all this, all this one, they use demo. But then we also have another one that we call async and await. Async and await. Why async and await? It makes asynchronous code look like synchronous and cleaner. Remember when we were talking about synchronous code, means we said synchronous code runs line by line, while asynchronous code runs like some of the code will be delayed before the other one runs. Now, what async and await do for us is that it turns asynchronous JavaScript code to synchronous JavaScript code. So this time around, there's no need for one of the code to wait before the other one. You understand? So like, top,
Okay.
yeah, this one will just keep running from top to bottom, from top to bottom, from top to bottom. There's no need of say maybe
Okay.
as you are running now, then someone now delay you. No, nobody is delaying you. All of una dey run dey go together. So that's it. So instead of this, instead of this fetch data dot then, you just make use of async and await. So async function get data, then let data equal to what? Await. Then fetch data,
Wait.
then console dot log is happening. Console dot log data, then get data. I think this one is clear. Okay, let's try these two things. Let's try these two things. Let's try this. We're almost done. Oh. We're almost done with JavaScript, honestly. Just if we can meet up with that tomorrow class now, it will be very okay. So that we know that we just add the main JavaScript to that project this week. Then we are done with HTML and JavaScript. Did you say as I see the error, I didn't know where the error dey come from?
Yeah.
Look at this now. You are saying that it delayed for a while. Data received. So what actually happens is that this is a function, right? This is a function called
Mm-hmm.
function data. Then inside the function now, that's why they now have that resolved and reject. So that resolve and reject function is now called another function inside this place. Abi, call another function. Okay, this function calls another function, which is this other function. I see. So there's function inside another function. And that function that it calls now, it makes the code to delay for a while before it's before it resolve or before it output the result. It makes the code to delay for a while before it output the result.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, Make
Some
the code,
seconds.
yeah, some seconds. And the second is coming from where? It's coming from this 2000. That's the seconds. So 2,000 means 2 seconds, 1,000 means 1 seconds. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then this oh, this other one. Hmm? So instead of writing this, right? Look at what we now write. Async function get data. Let me see. Nice. Okay. Data received. It's still delayed. Eh? Still delayed by that 2 seconds. But we are using async and await. Are you seeing it?
And sync and wait.
Async
Yes.
and wait. So instead of doing this dot then we just forget it. This dot then come from promise. It come from promise. Why
Yes.
eh?
Yes.
Why this one comes as async and await.
From
So
async and wait.
yes. So this one normally is asynchronous JavaScript, right? But then we now apply async and await to it to make it synchronous JavaScript. Now here is the rule. Await can only be used inside an async function. Then await pauses execution until the promise is resolved. Do you understand? Await can only be used inside an asynchronous function. Then await pauses execution until the promise resolved. Please hold on. Please, I don't know this. So
No problem.
async function gets. So this is another example with error handling. So maybe you want to handle error now, right? Like just like the first one, that when we are doing promise, that's dots then and resolve and reject. Still the same thing. Man. So async function get data, right? Try now. Try. Now this one is now try. Oh. Look at it. Try and cache. It's not this thing dot then and dot cache anymore. Try cache. Then inside the try, that's where we have our code that we run. This is our code that we run. This is our code that we run. Right? Then console.log data. So if there's error at all, it will come here and tell us the error, which is this one will fire if there's any error. But if there's no error, this what will happen. So you are trying to say, okay, try this code. Oh, if this code will run, if this code will run successfully, then leave it like that. But if there's any error, catch the error and display the error for us. Do you get? Then you now come down
Yeah.
here, you now call the function, because any function that you write you must always call it. It is a must, you must always call it. You can either call it at the top. Remember when I said in one of our previous class, I said there's a way to call your function. You can call it at the top before you define the function, or you can call it at the bottom after you define your function. So this is a function definition, like you already defined the function, so you can actually call the function here at the top, or you call it at the bottom. So let's try this, let's see what will happen. Fetch data is not defined. I see this fetch data is not defined, which is this data, this. Hmm. So we are still using this, where is it, we are still using this our fetch data function, but we are using it with what, we are using it with async and await. Async and await. Are you seeing let data equal to fetch data? So you are calling this function now, which is this fetch data function. You are calling it from here. This way you define it, right? Then you now call it in this place. And remember when I was talking about function too, I said function is a block of code that you can write in another place and call it somewhere else. So I write this code here, I write this function here, then I call it in this other function. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then whatever is coming from here now, I store, I then store it inside this data. This is a variable name, I store inside this data called variable name. Then I now output it on my browser. I output it on my browser using console.log. Data, data received. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Data received. So there's nothing you will learn in JavaScript that you cannot learn in every other programming language. This thing I'm teaching you now is still the same thing I'm still learning when I'm taking my .NET C# class. This, all these small little things. You understand? So that's it. So don't think you are wasting your time. You are not wasting your time. You are building a foundation for every other thing that you will be learning together. So comparing promise verse async and await, this is just note for you to take note. Promise.
Okay.
This is how to write promise.
So have you sent the note?
So I'm not
This
sending it.
note.
No, I'm not sending it. I'll send this now. Just remind me. Then
Okay.
this is how to write. This is how to write async and await. Same logic, but the syntax is cleaner. The way they write this one is more better than the way they write this. Do you understand?
Mm.
Yeah. So that's it. So call it a day from here. Then summary. Synchronous run line by line. Asynchronous doesn't block code execution. Callback function pass into etc. Then classroom practice exercise. You can actually practice this when you get the notes.
All
Yeah.
right.
Then read up the common student mistakes etc. Then for the other part, ESCs plus features. So this one we'll talk about so many things, but not new things sha. So many things that we have look at before, and how to write function in more shorter way.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
it. You understand? Then template
Mm.
neutrals, how to use practice. Then destructuring, audio destructuring, spread and rest operators, modules import and export. Then yeah, that's all. So that's what we'll be doing in our next class. Just
Tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow. So
That is by 8.
yes, by 8.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate.